Right. But, and also like the selective, like, well, do you care about what's going on in Somalia, in Lebanon, like in like, it's like, you're only caring about what the media is telling you to care about, which is just an intelligence test that you're failing.
Yeah, as everyone just is going for the next thing, and that's what's weird.
I know.
It's like the people that I thought were open-minded and cool and different and potentially sort of counterculture, meaning like, oh, I don't really believe in all of the established conventional wisdom of institutions. And now these are the ultra pro big corporations, pro like FBI surveillance, pro big state, big brother, pro like
pro censorship.
Oh yeah, that's really my big final line. It's like censorship.
Me too.
And it's like what you can't think anymore. You can't think out loud. And then what I would get accused of back when people were ultra imploding, but I think I've weeded most of those people out. If you're following by now, you don't care or you get it. Like they were, when I was posting about free speech, like when Parler got taken down, I'm like, and then someone's like, but that's all for like white supremacists. And I'm like, I actually was on Parler and it was literally like Sean Hannity talks about going to Olive Garden. Like there was nothing on there. I'm sure maybe in some deep world algorithm, but that's the setup. You just take simple things. And I notice everything that I'm into or do now has all been deemed like extreme right or alt right. And I'm like,
right.
I'm exactly the same. Like I literally found articles that are like, motherhood is a tool used by the extreme right. I'm like, what? Because you didn't like abort your child. Now you're, like it's weird. Gina even found things about raw milk, like everything that's like the back in the day sort of hippies back to the land. We just want to operate outside of the system and we want to be industrious and have autonomy and create our own property with, that's all the stuff now that's like getting labeled some level of extremist, or you're not just buying into the program, and people are falling for that shit. Yeah, motherhood, raw milk, natural health, natural immunity is racist.
Also, research is an alt-right extremist activity.
Oh, yeah. New York Times tell you don't go down that rabbit hole.
No,
literally just don't think for yourself. But it's the repetitiveness. Like people, like I don't get news from the news, and maybe if there's some crazy event, but even then I still question everything.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, these are the same people that thought, oh, why are we going to Iraq, a basis of weapons of mass destruction, right? Like these are people, no, we can't do that. And then now these are the same people that are like, no, and now they fucking love like George Bush and Cheney. It's weird. I'm not George Bush from like a darling of the political left. I was like, that's when I was like, this is fucked up, man. And this is a fucked up war, and I'm anti-war.
Yeah, same. Well, I'm pro-peace.
Yeah, well, that's a better positive affirmation, which is actually in my prosperity book. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm plugging your book.
I'll have Chronicle mention you, but I don't know if I can afford to pay it. I'm pro-peace. That's how I grew up. I grew up with like, there used to be like nuclear disarmament movements and things.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like it all got Psyoped with the plastic straws. And
can I just say, when the plastic straw Psyop hit LA in a big way and everyone was virtue signaling around it. And so that was a kid's book report and he made up his stats. And then the news blew it up. So I would ask for straws everywhere I went. And I was treated like such a scumbag for, being so horrible as to ask for a straw.
Basically, you are ruining Mother Earth.
Yes.
And, in the magical tradition, philosophically, we're environmentalists in the sense that like, we want things of a high energy, and we want to be as close to nature as possible. But then, yeah, you need a straw sometimes. You need, like, you're out and about. But it's interesting because, I mean, I think cutting back on plastic overall would be good. But there's a really good book, Apocalypse Never, by
Good
John
name.
Schellenberger, I think his name is. He's an environmentalist, environmental scientist, and he just breaks it down really level-headed. And a lot of these problems make sense to me, that, like, a lot of these poorer countries, what they need is just slightly better infrastructure. And he talks about like, it's basically, it's white privilege, really. Environmentalism, in a way, is as it is now, not just like, let's clean up this toxic lake and acid rain, but like this climate narrative, because you're going in, and it's a lot of Europeans too, telling people in the Congo, well, you can't burn charcoal fuel because we have to protect the gorillas. And the thing is, these people have no infrastructure, and this is how they literally eat. This is how they cook food. This is how they warm their, like, basically mostly shacks and huts. And we're going and saying, well, you can't use this.
Hey, superstars, thank you so much for sharing your sacred attention with me. If you are receiving any value whatsoever from my videos, I am encouraging you to give back, to pay it forward by supporting me on my Patreon community, on my locals community, on both. Your support allows me to keep on keeping on and to keep making content like this. It used to be much easier back in the days of a free press, but now, given all of the censorship and the shadow banning, it really is challenging for content creators to continue to put out so much work. I'll just speak for myself. I'm excited for it to be easier for me to continue to put out more content. And the primary way that it can be easier is by you supporting me financially by way of my Patreon and or my locals, where for as little as $5 a month, you get to be my hero and receive oodles of bonus content, and we both get to win. Okay, thank you so much for your support, for your attention, and for being omniscopic amazingness.